I think ferals will spawn, but probably in very... Speak of the devil. The Circle of Friends. What a name for a lethal zone community. You'd think the Circle of Friends would be the name of a green zone community. Look at the Nightmare Zone community. The Gathering, it's like this ominous name. But what, the Circle of Friends are like, we're going to defeat the lethal zone with the power of friendship. Yeah, great job over there. What? Survive for 0 days? What a bunch of freaking losers. Welcome back, my loyal viewers, my returning viewers, my new viewers. Welcome one, welcome all back to Fox's Lethal Zone. Now, if you're a smart person, in other words, if you're not Fox, you would just do this. You just kind of run around in circles and build up your cardio, and you wouldn't go out at night. But unfortunately, Fox is not a smart person. That's right, all of you who are watching my video guides, my reviews, the joke's on you. This entire time, you have been watching the review of a stupid person. So, how does that reflect on you guys? So we're just gonna go out at night anyways, because I don't care. And actually, there's a really good reason to go out at night. The reason to go out at night is because if you want to get better at the game, it's a lot like, let's say you're not ready for Lethal Zone and you want to start on Nightmare Zone. Well, it's a lot like going to the swimming pool when the water is cold. It's like the beginning is the hardest part because you're like, oh God, I don't want to go in the water when it's cold. And you got some people who, they want to like dip their toe in the water. Ooh, it's so cold, I don't like it. And then they put a little bit of their foot in, take it out, like, oh God, I can't take how cold it is. And then you got the people who, they're just like, and they just jump in there like they're crazy. And, maybe they rant and rave and scream about it being cold. But what happens is, after their body gets over the shock of temperature, they acclimate. And suddenly, it's not that the water got any warmer, but rather your body began to tolerate the temperature. And that's exactly what new difficulties are like. The best thing to do is just kind of jump in there and get used to it. Like, a lot of people are concerned with dying. And, in the beginning, I was concerned about dying, mainly because I was worried everyone would be like, oh my God, why would I ever watch the videos of this guy who dies all the time? This guy sucks. It's good. I was worried about my credibility, but fortunately, I have built up enough credibility that it's not going to matter anymore. So, to that end, still have not become a normal everyday search building. Let me see if I can go in there now and tick this off.
Locked.
Oh, looks like we gotta ram our way in.
Nope.
That was loud.
I hate this building. This building refuses to... I think he's following me. I heard his voice. Yeah, that's him right there. Come on, you don't see me? Oh yeah, we're using a new character as well. Why? Because the other character has not officially gotten tired yet, but they're tired. Let's go explore this trailer park. Maybe we can get some salvaging done. That's what we're gonna do though. We're just going to continue looting. And, people are talking about, oh my God, the plague guards, they're so deadly, they're so hard, they take so much damage. I honestly don't care because I have no interest in fighting plague guards at all. I have zero interest in fighting plague guards. Now, why is that? It's because there's no benefit to fighting plague guards. Like, I'm gonna run these guys over with the back of the vehicle. If you don't know this trick, the only part of the car that matters is the front and the sides, because you can lose the doors on the sides, and the front is where the engine is. But the back doesn't matter. So if you ram them using the back of the vehicle. Now, maybe they've changed it on Nightmare Zone. I have great doubts that they changed it, but it shouldn't matter. You should be able to run enemies over. That said, be careful if you're running over, like, a bajillion zombies, because there's a really good chance they're going to wash up on the... Ooh, another pack of menthols. Another pack of menthols. I think that was worth 75 influence last.
Easy. No more
But pretty good. So, if you run over, like, a huge amount of zombies backing into them, there is a really good chance that they're going to wash up on the sides of the, Ooh, man, Oh, we're getting a ton of influence items. I wonder if this mode is cramming a bunch of influence items in here under the assumption that they're like, ho, 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 now you're getting garbage for loot. You're getting trash. Like, none of this loot is useful. And I wonder if that's Undead Labs' logic, even though they're actually super useful, considering we can basically just buy rucksacks. Unfortunately, I did not have a larger backpack than this. We are stuck with this crummy 6-slot backpack, but what can you do? I hope that we find a larger backpack.
Maybe someone.
Arts. I do want to try to stay on top of the infestation, so we probably will attempt to destroy that infestation at some point in time. Not immediately, though. Okay, we're out of items that stack.
Good in here.
Let's just throw some of this in the back. I don't know. Let's throw these don't stack, so let's throw these items in. Got to do as much running as we can, especially while it's safe. People are asking, why is it so quiet and safe? It's because our standing is so low. And I intend to try to freeze our standing at this level so that we can continue to gain our strength, level up our characters, and just kind of like build up while we are in this kind of low standing, and therefore the game is not spawning nearly as many enemies as they could. Like, I don't even think Juggernauts will spawn yet. I think Ferals will spawn, but probably in very... Speak of the devil. Okay, here it is. Oh, interesting. So they're right. They do plague you anyways. It's interesting. So I'll just get in. Does it matter that he's on the back of my car? I feel like the answer is no, and I should be able to just squish him. Yeah. So, interesting. So it looks like he is capable of damaging the car from the back. That's, I believe, a new feature. But the good news is we were able to cheese the Feral with the squish him into an object trick. So that's actually pretty good news. Because that's actually one of the best ways to get rid of Ferals. Is to... So on Nightmare Zone, this is a great tip for night. If you want to begin learning to play Nightmare Zone, if you see a Feral, get in your car and let him get onto the side of the car and just kind of drive up to like an object like this, and he'll get squished. And he'll just die instantly. And it doesn't even matter if there's 3 of them. Just let them jump on the car and just kind of bump. If they jump on the hood, you want to do it quickly, but calmly. Like, don't make the situation worse by going crazy. But at the same time, you know, just bump into like a tree, bump into a car, like on another car, just bump into something if they're on the hood. And I emphasize bump. Do not ram the target. But, yeah, just do that, and he'll die. He'll get squished. So it looks like I need to drop some of this stuff off. Yeah, we'll come back. That's not a big deal. So that's interesting. Even though we physically dodged the Feral, he was still able to plague us. And that's probably either a brand new mechanic, or it's just something that he could always... Or it could just be something that Blood Plague Ferals always could do, and maybe I just... Because I've only played Heartland twice, maybe I just didn't notice it. And also, the amount of plague he would give you would be so much lower. Maybe you just didn't notice. Maybe I just didn't notice. That's a possibility.
How about we see what we've got?
Yeah, sure.
75 for a bag of... What are a bag of squiggles? Fruitish flavor. Size for fun. Interesting. Yeah, I need to trade out some of this stuff. Where's that infestation? Over here. Let's swap some of this stuff out. We'll just do this because we want to sell some of this crap. Actually, what am I doing? I could just... We have an outpost here specifically for this purpose. I'm not even going to activate the quest because I have no capability of finishing it, so that's fine. Okay, so they don't have enough influence to buy our pack of menthols. That's not a big deal, though, because you just store it, and they will get... Really? Am I locked out of my own out... Wait, this is not my outpost.
I should be more careful.
This is my outpost. Yeah, that's interesting, because, like, you could tell I don't have any health damage, so it was a clean dodge, but he was still able to infect me, so that's something that will obviously add a great deal of pressure. Like, basically, we're going to need some kind of a hard counter to ferals, because we can't even rely on, like, dodging them, since apparently they can just plague you anyways. Over here, and I don't think there's anything cheap that I can sell them, or cheap that I want to sell them, I think is a more accurate thing to say. And how much influence do we have? We have 368. So what we're going to do is do this command here, find resources and people, and for 150 influence, I am just going to force another community to spawn in. And now, I didn't say it, but I was kind of hoping they would appear right here. And that's because if you watch my training episode, they just spawn here. For some reason, they always spawn here. And now we just found an easy way to take out this infestation, because they're going to be able to destroy it for us. Now, the best news is we just generated another community, which means we can sell to them, and they're going to start out as friendly to us, and that means they're going to give us better prices. So, right off the bat, that is really good. Let's carry this with us. And that's all fine. Now, having allies, like I said, it's just a really good idea, because more people to trade with, and more security, because it will mean more people that I can run to and have them kill the enemies for me. And that's good. I like that idea. I am attracted to this idea. Now, one thing you're going to notice is that I am not going to drive at full speed anywhere, and the reason for that is pretty simple. I do not want a plague bloater to pop in on me, and the way to avoid that is to not drive at full speed, because it will give the game time to spawn the enemies in, and I won't have to worry about it. They squish you off like that. So the way I squished them off, that is exactly the way that you would deal with a... There we go. Now, we're going to stay in our vehicle, and the reason we want to stay in our vehicle is because the Screamer is probably going to make things get a little bit hot. Let me see if I can whip these guys off. There we go, like that. And what we want to do is just make sure that so there's this idea that as long as you're in your vehicle, you're pretty safe, because your vehicle can outrun the zombies, etc. So I just don't want to get out of my vehicle. Wow. Why have they not killed these guys yet? So I'm just going to stay in my vehicle, where, as I said, it's pretty safe in here. He attempted it. Give him a... We'll give him a C for the effort. I will go ahead and squish this guy. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I do need to be careful on the way around, just because that blood plague effect should still be there. I think I will get out, actually. I think we're okay. I think we can now go inside. And they have successfully cleared them, as I thought they would. Now I'm just going to dodge around like a weirdo and let them do the work for me. Wow, this guy, he really wants me. And that's because, starting on Nightmare Zone, the enemies will focus fire on player one.
Score one for me.
Maybe even the other players as well. But they will focus on the player-controlled characters rather than the AI. The first thing we're going to do, obviously, is steal everything from them.
A friendly face.
Here, let's welcome them to the community. Here. Feel free to reach out, blah, blah, blah. I wonder if this counts as a quest completion. Let's find out.
Please, Come on in.
Okay, good, it
Thank
did. That means we don't get
Would you like to
any
trade?
standing
Sure.
for that. Oh, they have a bolt crafting too. These guys are interesting. What are you selling? Oh, let me go ahead and boost my that. Let me get some more influence back. So you're selling a bolt crafting tool set. Normally that is kind of a pain to find, but I don't think I'm going to buy it. Model 1887 shotgun, interesting. That's from the open range pack. The branding iron, also from the open range pack. So here we go. We have some resources we could buy from them. So this is why I'm saying that it's really a good idea to start getting some allies, because if the whole concept of this game mode is that, oh, there's not a lot of resources, you better watch out, like shaboobly boobly woobly boobly, then having allies is actually a way to generate resources. And it just means that any of the crap we don't find, we can just sell for influence. And because these guys are friendly to us, as you can see in the top left corner, it says they're friendly, it means they will give us better prices. Okay, about to say, there's got to be more in here. It also... Ooh! Plague sample. Wasn't even trying to get it either. Oh, we can sell that. Look at this guy. People who are not invited. Shoot that bloater. Do it. Good. And stay away from me. Keep your, like, ugly bloater butt away from me. Okay, let me sell this mixer. I'm not going to use this. But look how much this mod is worth. Like, amazing.
Money.
Nail puller. Could be useful. Might scrap it. Let's go get that sample. I'll lure these guys in. Hey, you guys. Don't you hear me running around? And then we'll just run out the back door. Oh, here's another item to loot. Well, my inventory's full, actually. Well, okay, so having the allies here... Now, unfortunately, the downside is that there's not a lot to loot here, but if they appeared in a more area loot, then once again, we just have a really nice place to run back to for help. So, very nice. Let's throw some of this... Thought I heard something. Fox senses were tingling for a moment. Throw this crap in here. I'll take this. No, don't get in the car. Get the sample. Thank you. How many samples do... So let's actually take a look at... So it needs 5 samples, and so we need more samples than normal. It's like, oh, more expensive. I don't know. Put this in here. I don't know. Oh, here's what we need to refuel. Normally, I wouldn't be... normally, I would waste some fuel and just kind of top it off. But, you know, we'll play a little more seriously. A little more emphasis.
We're good. Don't see any of them around here.
Okay, looks like we can get a rucksack of materials here. So, there are a lot of ways we can neutralize resource problems. One example is we could build a staging area. And a staging area generates 1 daily material per material loss. So if your buildings would cause you to lose 5 materials, the staging area will then generate 5 building materials, and it'll do that in a way that no matter how many building materials you're losing from your buildings, the staging area will always cancel it out. So like that's a way that, like I said, we could just save a ton. Why did I pick that up? Piece of like garbage. Well, let's just throw this in the back. One more slot before I have to go back and dump this crap off. Wait, wasn't there something else? Give me a luxury item. Oh, not a luxury item, but I'll take it. Bowie machete, interesting. I want the snacks. Stamina items are actually pretty good. We need all the stamina we can get because stamina is pretty important for running away, turns out. we're being held back by this crummy backpack. And I don't want to sell any of this. All this stuff here, like healing item, all of this stuff is pretty useful, so I'm not going to sell any of this. All right, let's fall back to here. So in a way, we're kind of spreading out. It's kind of like we're infesting the map now. By generating allies, it is actually... Oh, wait. Is that a feral? Ferals make a weird hissing noise in blood ferals. I'm not sure what it was, but it was a weird sound. I didn't recognize it. Another plague bloater. Like I said, we don't want to drive at full speed because we don't want to run the risk of... What is this? Pieces of some kind of blood creature. Okay, these guys are in the way. Blood Plague, Screamer, doesn't matter, because even if it screams, it will draw the enemies away from the base, actually, so not a big deal. Okay, let's dump this out. We are not going to give that away. We want to make sure we're maintaining at least enough Blood Plague samples to cure one of our characters.
We can use some assistance over here.
Speak of the devil. So this is the exact mission that I'm not going to do. The perfect... Oh my god! It's literally a repeat of the training episode. It is, admittedly, a bit of a frustration that the first quests that people want are both... Well, I mean, the first one is kind of predetermined, but these other guys, they did not have to ask for plague samples. The training...
Whenever I start thinking things aren't so bad, you all prove me wrong.
Hey, it's lethal zone. We all have minus 30 morale. It's just going to be this way for a while. You know, we have to accept that we're giving up some of the typical amenities. I'm going to let this character rest to begin removing the blood plague infection, because why not? Let's play it safe. Got to play it safe. Jimena is a character we haven't used yet. Might as well. No reason to no reason to disrespect the blood plague when we do not have the ability to cure a full infection.
People who need help.
Those who can have a to take it. Oh, I don't know about that, my dear. Ooh, that's a huge upgrade. I didn't know Bowie Machete has pretty good lethality. Look at that, like 75% lethality. Pretty good, actually. This, and these. Good thing we haven't had to use the energy drinks yet. And also good, we've got a large backpack. Quite happy about that. Okay, so where are we going to loot next? Probably back at the trailer park. Influence is still going up, so that's good news. Or how about this? Nah, let's pick up where we left off. Like, no need to leave things incomplete. Blood Plague Screamer, gonna scream, doesn't matter. Not worried about it. One thing I will have to get used to is the new sound effects. I'm not used to the sounds that some of these zombies make. And some of them actually sound fairly similar, in my opinion. Okay, let's get back to what we were doing. Trailer. This one has 2. Hopefully we get, like, we really want luxury items. Luxury items are basically going to be our way of getting rucksacks. Parts, we'll take them. We're not really doing a lot in the way of combat, that's fine, but, like, having a supply of parts is just a good idea. You may notice I'm a little bit more serious at night, and that's just because night is more dangerous, and yes, More of my brain faculties are dedicated to being perceptive at the moment. There's no doubt about that. I'm surprised there aren't any or plague hearts in this area. Try looting this area next. This is where I would typically expect a plague heart to be. And as a result, I think I'm going to go on foot. Just to try and be a little bit more quiet. Give him the old whoosh-a-magoogle. Ooh, looks like we have an opportunity for a rucksack of fuel coming up. Hearing a bunch of voices, which tells me a horde is nearby. Yep, right there. They are wandering towards me, so we will go in the opposite direction. I probably could run. I'm pretty sure they're too far away to detect me, so we'll just run back. Okay, so since we have a horde over there, I don't feel like waiting for them to pass. We'll just look for a new area to loot. So, let's try right over here by the Winchester Urgent Care. Now, I know some of you guys want longer episodes, and we will. I will do longer episodes. But as those of you who are following my community updates, you guys know that I have guests that are coming over. Very soon, actually, Monday. And so I promised that I would not do nothing but YouTube while my guests are over. Because I have a reputation for being a bit of a workaholic. What a weird noise that is. You hear that? I don't like that noise. There's like a weird rumbling noise. So I'm just going to get out and go stealth. Because they are probably going to follow me to the car. Which is fine. If they find the car, they will then go inactive. So, you want to learn the game mechanics? You need to understand the difference between... You need to understand why a zombie is approaching me. Is the zombie approaching me because it's detected me?
I can't let that screamer bring more friends.
Okay, here's another tip. Anytime your character mentions something about a zombie, that means they will appear on the map. So we now know a screamer is right there. That's especially useful if your character detects a feral, because then you can mark the feral. Yep, had a feeling there'd be zombies in here. Normally, I would just go about looting immediately. But since we're trying to, you know, play a little more cautiously...
Breathe easy. No more creepers here.
I will loot the area first. Or I will search the area first and remove any zombies. I am being quiet right now just because I do know that those zombies went to the car, and we do have a screamer nearby, so I am going to try to not draw their attention. Anyways, so one of the things that will take your game to the next level, but it takes a while to really get the hang of, is sound mechanics. If you could get the sense for how much noise is occurring and how the zombies react to noise, oh my god. People will think that you're Spider-Man. They're like, how did you know how did you know danger was coming? How did you know that was going to happen? Like, how did you know to suddenly go into stealth and be quiet? And just learning the different sounds of zombies. Ooh, water cooler.
That's quite a load I'm carrying.
Water cooler, not nearly as valuable of a mod in terms of selling things, but we might actually use the water cooler because I can get water out of it to boost a garden. So we might actually use that. 20 parts. Pretty good. Pretty good. But yeah, learning... And so, like, one of the ideas is, like, so when you drive a car, you need to know the difference between zombies are... Wah, wah, wah. Yeah. I want all of this. I want every single one of those things. I keep getting interrupted in my thoughts. Okay, so yeah, you're driving your car. You need to know the difference between zombies are approaching my car because they're in pursuit of me, or zombies are approaching my car because they're just wandering towards a noise they heard, in this case, a car. That is an important distinction to know. And as you can see, the zombies approached and then they got bored. I'm gonna hang on to this, actually. We're gonna put both the mods in here because mods are very heavy. You can see my character immediately went out of heavy carry because of that. And now we can get the ethanol. Ethanol is really important because it allows us to upgrade certain buildings, and then later on, we will need ethanol to build strong painkillers, which, one, are going to be really useful to heal us, and two, they are worth a ton of influence. We could sell them for a fortune. They're going to be super good. Looks like day is breaking. I am pleased to see that. Once day breaks, I will feel much more comfortable just to run around a lot more and build up my cardio. Wait, no need to do that. Okay. Let's go drop off over here. Why do I want to drop off over here instead of at my home base? Because if zombies attack, I want to lead them to expendable people. Not to people that matter. So that's why we will do that. Car has a little bit of a get up and go to it. Like, that's one thing I got to be careful of. I'm gonna hit the gas and crash into something one of these days.
Someone must have picked through this
Interesting
place
sound. Was that a feral? So yeah, that's a problem. So that's a current weakness I have is... What is that sound? Is that a feral? That's what I want to know. Yes. We can drive fast enough to avoid him. So, I have changed my plans there. I'm going to go ahead and head back to the base because the feral will not chase us this far. I severely doubt it, at least. They said that zombies will now chase for 5 minutes of sound, and I don't doubt that, but the thing, though, is that they have to know where the sound went. And this is a good example of that. Yes, they're going to pursue sounds, but they're going to basically lose the scent, so to speak, of the sound.
And here we are.
So quite nice. It's good to know that, like, some of the mechanics, like, there are certain mechanics that they just don't matter if they're increased in difficulty. Like, zombies doing more damage, sure, that matters, but if you train to not get hit, you're gonna get hit, sure. But if you train from the perspective that you don't want to get hit at all, like you really emphasize it, then an increase in damage may not matter because you're in a position where you don't take unnecessary risks, and therefore you don't get hit, and you therefore render their enhanced damage worthless. Anyways, there you go. Day is breaking, and we have survived our first night. The Blood Plague Pharaohs are popping in, and, you know, I know you guys wanted to see me have to deal with them, and as usual, I don't deal with them. Because unless they find a way to catch me out in the open, I just won't deal with them. Because why do it? Why subject yourself to it? Anyways, there you go. That was what I was waiting for. Day 2, boys. We have survived the night. Day is coming. That means we can play more aggressively in the day. Overall, I would say the episode was quite productive. We found a new ally, got some mods. Look at this, 463 influence. Like, we are up and on our way to making improvements. We are still nowhere near ready to destroy a Plague Guard. I'm probably, if you're wondering when that's going to happen, I'm going to wait for the Plague researchers to appear so that we can build bloater bombs. But there you go. A bit more of an educational episode. You know, I think that's appropriate for nighttime. I am going to take nighttime a bit more seriously. But there you go. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you see the way Fox plays the game. Fight smarter rather than fight harder. That's the way Fox likes to do things. So hopefully you picked up a few tricks. Anyways, I'll see you next time. I will try to upload every other day for the Nightmare Zone, but remember, I got guest, or for Lethal Zone, but remember, and yes, we are on Lethal Zone, for those of you who don't believe me. Hopefully the Blood Plague Feral, you know, wait, that person's face. That person's face, what do you look like? Oh, okay, so you're a map, I see. He's kind of creepy on Lethal Zone. Anyways, hopefully you picked up a few tricks. I'll try to upload every other day. You know, I gotta deliver on my promise not to live on YouTube when my guests are here. Anyways, see you next time. Like this video if it was entertaining. Subscribe for future Lethal Zone content. Of course, remember that you don't have to be good to get good.